Now, I can't stress this enough. Some of this is my opinion. I need to say this so I don't get any more pipe bombs UPS delivered. You may notice the I in the title. I may like or dislike things about the game you don't agree with. I'm not stating any of this shit like it's fact. For the most part, there are some things that are facts, like mechanics or community. You can't sit here and tell me this is groundbreaking combat, but for the most part, this is my opinion. I know it's a scary word, but we're gonna get through this, don't worry. If you don't know what JJS is, then why the fuck are you watching this? Are you stupid? JJS is a fighting game that's based off the hit manga, turned into anime, turned into one of the worst fan bases on earth. Every fan base is bad, but since it was and still is a turbo popular anime, it's extra stinky. I'm not letting you guys forget the tampon incident, because I sure won't. If you don't know what it is, don't search it up. When I refer to a JJS game as a fighting game, I use that term very loosely. It's more of a shit show, but like an entertaining shit show. Also, when I say that I love and hate the game, it's not like I have a love-hate relationship where I keep crawling back to the abusive ex on like some other games. It feels like a drag playing it when there's no update or I don't got some video idea that's going to benefit from the destruction of the game itself. And you may say, that's just Battlegrounds. First of all, JJS isn't a quote-unquote Battlegrounds. I'll explain that later because I know some of you are going to lose it from that statement. But even if it was, most of the Battlegrounds don't update and I can still hop on at any time and enjoy it. Not saying any names. To be frank though, the real reason why I wanted to make this video is because I've seen others ones just lately glazing the game or clowning on it, and this may seem crazy, but I think it has good and bad. It's not the second coming of the Messiah, but there's a reason why it averages around 50k players. But before I get railroaded, let's talk about what I enjoy in the game. It may not surprise you that one of its biggest strengths and highlights is the destruction. Nothing's better than fighting someone while completely leveling the neighborhood. No one really needed that hospital, let's be real. For a game that's so unserious, the combat can help immerse you. I can't believe I'm talking about being immersed in the Lego-looking game, but unironically covers up a lot of the flaws the game has. It is the main reason why it blew up and everyone tried copying it. Looking at you, Realm Rampage. Talk about Realm Rampage. Hey, Aspector, you know, could you please give me my money back? You know, I only bought Game Passes and all your unfinished products. I would love it, man, because you don't seem like you want to update them anymore. So can I get my fucking money? Sorry, I'm just not good at losing money. That it could be the Burly Boost. Not just them. A lot of games tried copying Destruction, which I would be fine with if it wasn't the same exact shit every time. The game's rarely ever tried to change it or add anything new. The reason why it works with JJS is it popularized it first. Sadly, that's just how Roblox works. When TSP blew up, everyone started following the Battleground meta. When Blox Fruits blew up, suddenly everyone was making extremely similar One Piece games. I can't blame them for chasing the bag, but you gotta do something a little different to change it up. Something good, by the way, not a system that encourages teaming for a community that hates teaming. What I'm trying to say, it's what separated the game from the crowd, that and the goofiness. Most Battlegrounds at the time took their game somewhat serious, the best effects, best map, and the best combat, always trying to one-up their competitors. JJS straight up just said, nah, I'd make goofy dog shit. By the way, I say this as a good thing. I'm not saying no effort went in the game, but compared to its others, you wonder how it blew up. Because it focused on one thing other devs forgot. Fun. It sounds stupid, but I'm being dead ass. Actually, it shouldn't be surprising that a lot of these developers don't know what fun is. JJS is a lot of things, but it's never boring. There is always some stupid shit happening. People love that, even at times where it's a little, let's say, a little too much.
Guys, I don't think I'm so invincible anymore.
The dev really focused on fun first and gameplay second, which I know sounds simple, but games really get lost in the everything must be perfect trap, which results in half those games staying in development hell or waiting eons for updates. Again, the destruction is what made it big, but the goofiness is what keeps it going. Updates don't gonna rock people's world because they don't expect perfection. The game can be buggy at times, and that just adds to the shit show that's going on. And I want to reinstate before I get jumped, I'm not trying to downplay the work that went into this game, but even you have to admit this is one of the worst looking fighting games, yet people still love it and somehow it works as a strength for it. Another strength it has is all the random shit. What I mean by that is changeable billboards, vending machines, and the train, just to name a few. All this brand of bullshit merges into this agglomeration of stupidity that adds to whatever theme this game's aiming for, which is what they should honestly focus on more than the combat, because the goofy shit is 10 times more entertaining than the abysmal combat that makes me want to wake up my neighbors with the amount of Call of Duty language I want to scream. The fact that I can play the piano, getting carried, then tossed across the map, while watching someone fire a hollow purple with a switch is truly a mythical experience. But before I get called a glazer, let me get to the things that I hate about the game. Well, hate's a strong word, more like dislike. Well, except the combat, that shit makes me want to scream. If you couldn't tell, I'm not a big fan of the combat. Now I get it, TCE ain't trying to change the game, but holy shit, this combat makes me want the sweet relief of a game end. Remember when I said this game isn't a battlegrounds? This is what I meant. The combat is too clunky and off. The destruction's cool, but does not help this either. Sometimes you can't tell what's going on because you're buried in rubble or you're a part of the floor plan. Sometimes debris can cuck your combos and get you killed. That and running is so easy since you could blow a hole in any wall. And trust me, people love running in this game. I feel like games that use destruction in their games aren't traditional battlegrounds, but its own subgenre in Roblox fighting games. By the way, I also feel like the ults are insane in this game. They are supposed to be more of a trump card in battleground games, not a win button. Unless you got an ult as well or your opponent's brain dead, you're basically dead. It's insanely hard to counter most ults in this game. Which sucks, because nothing's funnier than making someone waste their entire ult and not kill you. The one-shot abilities in JJS's ults are so easy to hit. Gojo, you get iframes while you have big ball and shoot for an almost insta-kill. Sukuna's ult M1s basically keep you down the entire time and make it hard to counter. Harkari is almost invincible, so if you don't get your ult, you're cooked. Megami is the only one I like. You can counter most of his ult moveset, and it's pretty easy to stop Moraga before he gets it. But his regular moveset totally throws out of the water because it pisses me off and gives me a headache. Mahito is just another death sentence. Bug dude, I mean, he only has one ult move technically, but still, it's a guaranteed kill if it gets a hit. I get these characters are super strong in the source material, most of them, but for a quote-unquote battlegrounds, this is pretty poor balancing. It could also just be a skill issue on my part, but sometimes I just want to put the controller down once they ult. While I'm on combat, the teaming in this game can rival Hero sometimes, which that's saying something. It's actually one of the reasons I didn't play it for the longest time, because you would get jumped and they would always say the now infamous line. It's a JJK game, expect to get jumped. Not to be rude, but I don't give a shit what the game's based off. You both are still riding my shit, and you make me not want to boot it up. And to be fair, I know some of you are going to say they added anti-teaming, but when I'm in a circle jerk with 3 different dudes, and you rarely ever get the damn effect and boost, your people teaming on you usually get it, so that's always fun. And talk about what people say, the next thing that really grinds my gears with this game is something that annoys me in every fighting game. The community.
Get the fuck off me, Mark! Oh, so you nick on it that way, huh?
JJS's fanbase is pretty much an extension of the JJK and Battlegrounds community, so it should not be surprising that it's on this side of the fence. The amount of geniuses in this game makes me want to tear up. JJS kind of reminds me of them private schools that Outcasts go to, because a lot of people in this game would usually get targeted in other fighting games, and they play this one instead, which by itself would be fine, because it sucks that these people get targeted anyway. You know, furries, women, yes, they get targeted. I wish I was kidding. And people that, like, wear thigh highs. Well, maybe they deserve it. My problem there is also these type of people playing it. Like, bro, Luna did not have all that, bro. This whole guy's account, by the way, is all this shit, dude. What the fuck?
Love it! Breasts. I want it so bad.
Which I usually ignore, but for some reason it pollutes this game more than others. And I know it's crazy saying I would ignore it, but be honest, this usually doesn't bother me too much. I don't like it, but it doesn't, you know, kill me. But it's so crazy to enough where I start to notice. To me, it just gets to a point. Oh, so the community is surprisingly toxic. For a game where the combat is the way it is, I'm generally surprised people get mad at it and other people. If you say bet in this game out of all the fighting games on Roblox, just log off. The game could annoy me and tick me off as well, but not enough to make a public announcement.
Come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch.
The only thing I understand is rage quitting off it. I would be lying to say I haven't done that shit as well. But to actually talk shit is crazy to me when the game has this shit in it. Another thing, people in this game are just annoying. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. Just play the game for a couple hours and you'll know what I mean. They are a special type of just being annoying, which is one of the reasons why it's hard for me to play. That and replayability. Now, this one is based on the person. Some people can play games for hours, while others can't touch it for longer than 5 minutes. But at least to me, I can't just turn my brain off and play JGS for hours, unlike other Battleground games. How people play in this game, and let's just say the not very smooth combat, make it an Olympic challenge for me to lay back and just enjoy the game. To be fair, I know I'm not the only person to feel this way. For me, this is the reason I can't call it a Battlegrounds. It doesn't have that brain-dead replayability for me. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the game when it updates, but that's about it. Beyond that, I'm not going to hop on there for a good time. Though if you enjoy the game, that's fine. Like I said, there are things to enjoy about the game. These points I'm making are just to air out some personal gripes of mine with the game. Replayability is important for a game. I'm also not that picky or hard to entertain, which is why it surprised even me when the game couldn't keep me longer than whatever content was in the update I hopped on for. It's just the combat and the non-stop running / teaming make me want to jump, dude. There are really only a select few problems that stop me from fully enjoying the game, but the issues are so great that it kills all the enjoyability for me. Okay, well, to sum up what we learned here, I think JJS is a fun fighting game, but a miserable battlegrounds, if that makes any sense. I know some people are going to say, well, that's obvious. You would be surprised how many people blow on this game's meat. Personally, after having to play this game for hours to get footage and a truly authentic experience, I don't want to touch this shit for millennia. I love how I'm saying this shit damn well knowing I'm going to be on for an update. Hey, I'm here while the outro plays. Post-editing me. I didn't realize TZE, the owner of the game, added a Ruben Sims bot and banned like a bunch of like people in the condo game. So that definitely is going to help the community out. So that's a good change. Little stuff like that's definitely going to help out. So cool that he did that. I wanted to put this in the outro here to, you know, I know and acknowledge that. That was good. He's doing good for the community.